our workshop today, and it will be in English because English is very important. Most of the lectures will be in English, and your acquisition and your negotiations maybe sometime will also be in English. So if you want to study abroad, also English. Therefore, my lecture in leadership is also in English. So we make it in English. Welcome once again. It's a great pleasure for me to have the wonderful and strong Enactus Goethe University Frankfurt here, and this big amount. And our topic today is negotiation. We see successful negotiation and effective communication strategies. In June we have the big event at the University in Mannheim competition, so we want to discuss some behaviors and communication strategies and the tools, because I think you all want to win. I want to win too with you together, so we are very strong. Negotiation is a big part of acquisition also, and if you want to make a good acquisition in a company or in business topic, then you have to negotiate in a successful way. So we want to speak today about some strategies for successful and efficient negotiation, and for some strategies how to communicate your negotiation and your tools and your behavior in the right way, in the right pattern to the customer. And we have a lot of customers. But for the beginning, I have an announcement for you all. You know I am giving the lecture leadership, and I have guest lectures in the lecture, and for the guest lectures I open the lecture for all the students which are interested. So you have the chance, you see top executives and interesting people you may not see normally. Therefore, I have an invitation for you all. You can come. I have an invitation for June the 1st. And for the first time in the history of the university, there will be a professor from the Military Academy West Point here. It's very famous. And this professor, and he's also nearly a general in the US Army because it belongs together, and he will talk about leadership. So it is June the 1st, starting at 4 p.m. And here's the invitation. And I will give it to you, and then you can let it circle. There are some copies, and you have it on our schedule in the Goethe Finance Association. And I want not forget, we have on June the 2nd another event. You may know it is our athletic event, and we will have it together with West Point, with the US Army, and we are making our boxing workout, our fitness workout together with these people. They like box, and they are really good in this topic. And so you are all invited for this boxing workout, and it will be a pleasure for me see all of you, or a big part of you. I will give you this is the invitation, and then you have the chance to be in our team. First of all, let me know what are your experiences with negotiation and with acquisition. What are your experiences? What are your ideas? And what do you think are big problems? So, for example, what's your experience in negotiation or in acquisition? Personal or professional, anyway. Or has anybody an idea or experiences? What are your experiences?
My personal experience has been frustrating sometimes.
Frustrating? Why?
Since when you're only in the position of being a student, it's sometimes really hard to be credible or to appear as a good business partner.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's what
This could be the lack, for example. Okay, experience and maybe credibility. If you are going to a bank or so and you want to negotiate something. Any other ideas, personal experiences with negotiations, and what do you think is the biggest problem in doing good negotiation or good acquisition? What could be a big problem to be not successful? What do you think? I know what's Hi, Fred. What's your idea?
Maybe you don't send the right message. You don't really say what you want to say. You say it in a way so the partner in front of you, the person you talk to, don't really get what you want to say.
Okay, there is a communication problem.
Exactly.
Maybe a communication problem, and we are thinking, or we want to talk about here somewhere tools and ideas to have better communication. But first of all, one very important thing in being efficient or successful in the negotiation, that is your personal preparation. Your personal preparation for going into a negotiation or in an acquisition. Negotiation, acquisition belongs together. And I will give you some ideas how to prepare a strategy. What is to think on in this strategy, and what are tools to have a good strategy, to have a win-win situation, or to win any acquisition or any project, for example. So, therefore, first of all, I want to discuss with you some negotiation strategies. Negotiation strategies, and we can close this. So, some negotiation strategies. If you have two axes, and you have an X and here any, and we have some strategies, then one strategy could be, if you see, this is the X of your outcome, and this is the X of counterpart. Counterpart outcome, and that's your outcome. So, what could be a strategy if you think in this matrix or graph? This is a strategy grid. Strategy grid. So, strategy grid. One could be that the curve is like this one. What could be the idea behind this negotiation strategy? You are here, and it's inverse. What do you think? We call it distributive issue. This is a distributive issue. What's the meaning of a distributive issue? All have mathematics, and what could be the meaning of this one? When you value things in exactly the inverse way, what is the outcome? What is the result? Any idea? You. Any idea? If you value the outcome or things in exactly the inverse way, then as your counterpart, then the result is, the more your partner gets, the what means for you? more?
Less.
Yes, of course. Your partner gets more or less is for you. This is a so-called distributive issue. Very practical. But there are other issues. For example, what is this? What could be this? Is a so-called compatible issue. Compatible issue. These are strategies, basic strategies, which are important for your mindness and your mindset to go into acquisitions and negotiations. Compatible issue. What is a compatible issue? What do you think? Compatible issue. The compatible issue is when you and your customer or potential customer or counterpart both want the same thing. That means the same thing is good for both partners. For you and your potential customer, then you are in a compatible issue. These are two strategies, but we have more. We have the integrative issue. The integrative issue. What is the integrative issue? And that's the most practical issue. You have to think in your acquisition, this is a very real situation. And on basis of this real situation, you can make your strategies and your preparation for acquisition or negotiation. So, integrative issue. What is the integrative? An integrative issue. What do you think? Anybody an idea? Yeah. You, for example? You? No? Who has an idea? Who has an idea? What could be an integrative issue? That means when you and your counterpart have different priorities. When you and your counterpart have different priorities or on different issues. So, different priorities on different issues. What could be a strategy? What could be a strategy? The strategy for the integrative issues could be what? What do you think? Think practically. Think very practically. Negotiation. What do you think? So you can make or you can build bundles of offers. Bundles. Bundles of offers in an integrative issue. So, do you have in your daily practice had in the past some of these practical cases? Are there any practical cases in your daily work? For example? No? Okay. Any other idea?
Please. I think competitive issues like teamwork. So if we want to get somewhere, we have to work together to reach our goals.
Yes. For example, you can transform this in practical project work. For example, these are issues for daily business, for private business, because you are in your private role negotiating every day. You negotiate with your professor maybe, you negotiate at the end sometimes for a better grade. So you negotiate it in various ways. So these are typical situations. And there is one issue I have not brought. It is the so-called sandbagging issue. Sandbagging. What is the sandbagging issue? Sandbagging issue is number 4 in the issues here, and it is a negotiation strategy also in a project, in a team if you negotiate something or in daily life. When one think that, or when you make or you imagine for the counterpart, that the result for you is not important, and you give him some advantage, but in reality, you know you can give him the advantage very easy because you have a lot of other very good tools in your project situation. And this sandbagging I cannot recommend because this could very strongly disturb your partnership because it is not honest. This is an issue, I think it is not an ethical issue, but sometimes it happens in reality. So, questions to this point? Any questions? If you are optimizing your negotiation strategies, what are the questions you have to ask? What do you think? If you want to optimize your strategies, there are some questions Steve Jobs has, for example, asked, or some very important steps has been in his head if he has made negotiations or acquisitions. What could be number 1? Number 1, what is very important to make some efficient negotiation is that you understand the importance of the negotiation. And that the other also understands the importance of the negotiation or the deal what you want to make. Another one is what could be, if you think very logical in the negotiation process, what could be another important question you have to ask yourself? What do you think? Understand the importance of the negotiation and show you as a negotiator, show that you understand the context and why your proposition is better for the other partner, for your counterpart. This is a number 2 key message in the negotiation. And a third one is if you are negotiating, or if you are negotiating in a team or are doing in a project, that you are able to show both kinds of values for your counterpart. Positive value aspects and also negative value aspects. This is another rule which Steve Jobs had in his mind if he has talked or had negotiations with customers, potential customers. And another one is, that's also important, and that's, I think, one of the most important things in negotiation, if you think on your behavior, what could be very important. And where could be a paradox between this and your negotiation? If you are thinking on personal behaviors, what do you think is playing a big role in negotiations? If you think on personal behavior, it's very important also for the future events and future competition. What do you think? Any idea?
To be polite.
To be polite and respectful is very good. It's very interesting because there is another implication, but it's very good.
And I think you need to be confident, show that you know what you're talking about, and you're sure that your thing is the best.
Yes, very good. You show something. You show something. What do you show? And that's very important also for your event in June. That's also very important. We will detail it later. What is the key word? The key word. There is also one leadership approach in this key word.
I think you, in general, you should know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are.
Yes, know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are.
And therefore you can adapt to the one in front of you.
It is calling self-awareness. But what I mean is, if you are doing any negotiation on the telephone or live, or you have a competition and you bring some performance or something, your emotion, what you said, be authentic, your emotion, let it out. And also let it out at a negotiation. Some businessmen are thinking, if I make a negotiation, I have to be very academic, I have to be very rational, and so on. That's not the truth. If you want to win, then emotional aspects are, I think, in my opinion, are totally important. There is one very interesting leadership approach, and I'm also researching about this. It is the approach of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence makes the difference between, maybe I think so, win and not win. Or be in a position, or being long in the position, or coming to a position. And there are other approaches, but the emotional intelligence approach is an approach where the key message or the good message is for all. You can learn being emotional. Because they have some aspects in this approach, personal aspects. We want later also talk about this. So we have an idea how we can manage negotiation, manage an acquisition, and manage a performance. Manage a performance. So, now, some questions we are asking for optimizing leadership decisions in terms of negotiations, in terms of acquisitions, is optimizing the preparation for the negotiation and generating value in the negotiation process, generating value in your performance. Generating value in the performance is the same. You can transport it all on other levels of your doing as a team, as a project team, or as the Goethe-University Enactus team. Emotions. And establishing the right behavior in the negotiation, in the performance, in the acquisition, and implement these factors. So, the next point in negotiation is the question, if I am negotiating or if I am doing some performance or something. What are the real partners? Can I or I should step in their shoes. Stepping in their shoes and thinking what they could think. And then I have the transformation on my doing. If I am able to step in others' shoes, thinking what the audience thinks, thinking what the real parties which are involved in your negotiation or in your performance are thinking. Therefore, prepare your negotiation very exactly, or prepare your performance very exactly, prepare your acquisition very exactly. And therefore, preparation. What do you think? What can I prepare in a negotiation? 5 minutes, think on it, and then we talk about it. 5 minutes, everybody on its own. And then we talk. Do you think it would be a difference if you make your performance, for example, in Vietnam? I was there. I just arrived on Sunday. I gave lectures there at the Vietnamese German University. And I think this would be a really great difference if you would make your performance in Saigon or in Mannheim or in Frankfurt. We will come later on this very important point. But first of all, the situation is you are in a negotiation, really, in June. You are in a negotiation. You as a team, with your performance, with your projects, are you negotiating with the audience? You are negotiating with the auditors, with the people which are evaluating, and with the audience. That is your negotiation situation. So, and then we will talk about some communication strategies later, but first of all, what are your ideas in this negotiation situation to prepare, or how can you prepare, or what tools or what ideas do you have preparing this negotiation situation between you and the audience in Mannheim for a win? What are your ideas? I will give you some ideas later. What are your ideas? You have an idea? We can brainstorm. It's very important for you.
I think it is important to have a so-called roten Faden in your presentation or
Okay. We say roter. Okay. Okay. It's okay. Yeah. Very good. But we want to ask a little bit more. What is your tool to bring? That your negotiation partner, the audience, the evaluator, think the same. Step in their shoes. Negotiation. Step in their shoes. Know how they are defining success. That's your success. You have to define and to think how to your negotiation partner, your counterpart, define success. Negotiation. So we have these 3 issues, but you see, we are coming to this topic. So what is the strategy? What are tools? Okay, roter Faden, to demonstrate a clearly way in your project so that everybody understands what is the meaning of the project, what is the contribution to people in need, and what is the contribution and the connection to business and the economics and the people in need and for the sustainable future. Okay, that's very great, but we want to hear more ideas. How do you want to bring your power on the highway? That's the question. How do you want to bring your power, team power, mental power, personal power on the highway? Other ideas, more ideas. One is a very good idea, other ideas. What could be more tools? Negotiating with your audience to make it great, to make it successful. Let it happen. Please?
To be a master of your own element and
to be what?
to be a master of your own element, the product and everything you are representing.
Master of your own element. Okay. But what is master of your own element? Your own behaviors or?
Yeah, being aware of who you are representing, what you are trying to sell.
Okay.
And get there.
Yes, this is a point of self-awareness, emotional aspect, very good. Other one?
Of course, facts matter, but there have also been studies that people perceive ideas through gestures, for example, through facial expressions. And if you try to practice that, maybe in front of the mirror, you can maybe perceive the others of your ideas better.
Very good. This is an aspect. It is the communication aspect. It is the non-verbal communication aspect. Because why is non-verbal communication so happy and so good? Why is this so? Why is this? What is the key of non-verbal communication? What do you think? If you think you make something and you look the people in their eyes and you are... What is the key? It goes...
With your senses, you see, you listen.
Yes, very good. It goes right in the heart of the others. You have to go into the hearts of the others, of your negotiation counterpart. Step in their shoes. These are emotional people, normal people, I think. And therefore, we want to discuss, there are many other ways in non-verbal communication. This is one way. We have other tools in non-verbal communication, but non-verbal communication are optimizing the team's non-verbal communication abilities and skills. Come out of yourself and be authentic. Authentic and bring your emotion, and you can bring it via non-verbal communication, but we will have or hear in detail non-verbal communication. Other ideas. Good ideas. Master of the own elements and all these things. Communication. Roter Faden. What else? What else can you do? What else? What else? What do you think? If you want to have a win in June, what is your key? What is your strategy? What are your tools? What have you trained? What have you trained? Or what are you training right now? What? Do you have an answer?
Not really listening to your question.
No. Any idea? What are you training right now? You are training content. You are training content that it is clear, structure is clear, and you are looking that you are standing full behind the topic and you know your quotas, your messages, You are learning, but it's not enough. This is not enough. This is not enough. What do you think? Maybe if you are winning the European contest, what could be key? We had it. Sweden. Sweden was the winner. But do you think why? What could be the answer?
I guess it's really important to know your audience and your team too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Four, here. The Enactus team audience.
Yeah, to know them, really know them. Not
Yes.
just work with them, to know them.
Yes.
Like,
And what is key? What do you think is
work with them in a good way so that you protect them, you know, each other and be
supporting?
together? Yeah.
Yes. But what could be the key for the win of Sweden, for example? What do you think in your own mind? It's a practical example.
You should be unique. Because, for example, in Eurovision we're hearing a lot of songs, so there should be one unique thing you remember.
And it was, I think, it was a very happy atmosphere. Creating a happiness. Creating a happiness. It comes from your heart, it goes in their hearts. And you can feel this, you can see this, and happy people are successful. Often successful if they can bring their happiness in an authentic way, in an honest way, in a believable way, in a true way, not in a learned way. So, now, we want to talk about the communication ways. We have here 3 good ideas to better the negotiation process between Enactus Goethe University team and team members and your audience as your counterpart. Audience in terms of audience and in terms of evaluation. So, what do you think could be, or what is all non-verbal? What are your tools for non-verbal communication? And I think non-verbal communication is the key, a key in this process. The non-verbal communication abilities. Tactics. What is non-verbal communication? What are the non-verbal communication styles? Any idea? Please.
Art appearance, so how you look and
Appearance.
yeah.
Okay, we want to collect this all. Appearance. Okay, appearance. What else? What else?
Maybe to smile in between pauses and so just to look positive.
Yes, yes, of course, yes. That you look positive is very important. Smiling is also very important. There is a theory. There is a theory in academic research. It is about happiness in the work atmosphere. This is an academic topic. Happiness in work context. And there, as a leader, you can make a lot of improvements, or you can make a lot of problems, or you can have a lot of problems if you cannot manage or lead the happiness aspect in your working context. It is an aspect of optimism, of future-oriented behavior. And there you have channels and ways to be authentic. And you can learn this. Don't forget my first message in the emotional intelligence, leadership, or also negotiation aspects. You can learn it if you can train it, or if you train it with your project team and with your, or in private life, in daily life. Other communication styles, appearance, smiling, what else?
Yeah, it's also important talk to them than to talk to the wall, for example. So you should not just talk, but also show what you're talking about.
Very good. Please. You come to me. On this platform, this is the Enactus Goethe University Frankfurt success platform. So, and now you tell us about your CV, and you tell us something about your goals for the June in Mannheim.
I'm not going to Mannheim.
Maybe you think you would go to Mannheim.
Yeah, I'm working on the project. It's Hidden Stories, and we are working with people from other countries who are coming to Germany and who want to live here, and we are working with them to integrate them into the community. And yeah, what else should I say? I don't know. What do you want me to present? I don't know.
No, I want that you have an experience. For example, what she said, looking to the audience, very useful. Make something with your hands, and make one thing. Manage silence. Bring them to the height, for example. Not saying, what should I do? No. No. Keep cool. Let silence. And then you can manage the audience. And you can manage negotiation. I do this sometimes with my customers in Goethe-Universität Frankfurt-Team. Sometimes we are sitting on the table and negotiating something, sponsorship or something, and then there's 30 seconds break, and we are collecting our ideas. And then we go on the highway. Thank you very much. It was very good. Very good. So, now more non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication. More.
Gestic or
Gestic, yes. Gesture. Gesture. What is your tip? What is your tip for optimizing gestures? What do you think? Yes. Or any other idea? Do you know any person in your mind which has an optimized gesture behavior? Angela Merkel. This is Angela. Oh, Angela. Why do you think Angela Merkel has an optimized gesture behavior?
I'm not sure if it's optimized, but at least she always does the same thing when she gives interviews or she gives speeches. She does this with her hands. So she has like a she's standing up straight, and she seems confident, and she always knows what she's doing with her hands. So she doesn't start like make big gestures. I think for her position it's really good as she gives the impression that she's in control of herself.
Rational. Totally rational. I need emotions.
Yeah, it's not emotional. No, she's in control of herself.
No, it's okay, it's okay. But we are on the way of a performance. In a serious idea, but also in a future-oriented optimism idea. So there's a balance. Please. Obama.
Very special.
Yes. Obama's interesting example is very cool. And It looks authentic. Other ideas maybe from art, from television or something. Because these people could be examples where you can also learn. If you are looking very critical to these people, but you can learn from these people. Other ideas. From examples, daily life, business, or professors, university. Is there any university, men or women, which you think could be is an authentic or is like this we have discussed? Any ideas? Any ideas? No, then we are going on in non-verbal communication. What else do you know? Non-verbal communication, this is your business. On June. Not only on June, it's every day. So you can train, you can practice. Non-verbal communication. What else? What else factors? Communication styles. What else do you know? Non-verbal. Any ideas? Any ideas?
I think it's important to control your movement on the stage, because some people stand still all the time and some walk around.
And what is your key? What is your idea?
I'm not sure which is.
Yeah, think by yourself. What
I think it's
could be
better
a better
to
way?
move a little bit.
Move a little bit.
Stand.
Can you come next to us? You can move. You can show your performance. You can show your performance. So say something about achievement. What is your goal? What is the key for you? What is your? Why are you in Enactus?
I think it's important to be confident that if you just like this all the time, you don't look at it. If you walk in the middle.
What is your authentic behavior? Not showing a demonstration. What would be your own authentic behavior? Live like you want to stay here.
What should I talk about? So maybe I can tell you about my project. I'm in the youth project here. We also work with refugees, like in stories, and we just started 2 weeks ago. And I think it's very interesting to work with them. We already had a little bit of success so far. We began to work on our concept.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, what else on non-verbal communication is possible? Any other ideas? Gesture, smiling, appearance, non-verbal communication. And also, there is the other question, which communication channels do you know? Which communication channels or communication styles? There is, for example, I will show you. There are two different ways, or two different factors from organizational behavior theory. And this is the high scan versus low scan communication. And I mentioned an example about Vietnam. What do you think could be your performance, or what are the tools for the performance in Vietnam? and in Anna. There is a big difference. A big difference because we have in research found out that there are two cultural contexts we are dealing with. On one hand is the high scan, and on the other hand it is a low scan. So what is high scan and what is low scan? Or what is the high scan context and what is the low scan context? What do you think? The low context, these are countries or cultural behaviors where you are coming very directly on the topic, on the issue. Which countries do I mean? Which countries? Germany, USA, all these Western-oriented countries. Northern Europe, up with.
I would like to make a remark, because mostly Spanish and Italian people who are Western orientated, they are almost something that we are. They're
Yes.
not as direct.
I thought, or I said before, Northern Europe. And Southern Europe is another, because I'm very often in Catania, Sicily, so I know this, but in a bigger picture context, these are countries where we go straight to the topic, Germany, USA. But there are other countries, and these are the so-called high-scan communication countries. There have another direction. I will give you the example of Vietnam. I talked with my students in Vietnam, in the university, and they told me there is a cultural difference, because we talked about cultural differences, ethical differences, and all these things. And they said to me, if you are in Vietnam, south or north, it's even, if you are in Vietnam, and you have a good idea, you have a good proposal, it's all wonderful, it's all great, and you bring it not in the right kind and friendly manner to the people, all the people will deny it. Even it's a very good idea, but in this cultural context, a kind behavior and not being directly going into the topic, very straight and very rational, you will not have success. Therefore, we have context cultural differences, and that's also an idea for different audiences. So, let us come to the communication or the non-verbal communication factors. There are some more non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication includes all behaviors that modifies, adds to, or substitutes for spoken or written language. Substitutes. Non-verbal communication is a substitute, but a very important substitute. And most of these is also part of the cultural context. But there are some basic behaviors which are valid. So one of them is, of course, using your voice. How can you use your voice? Very important for tune. How can you use your voice? Using your voice is a non-verbal, important communication style.
I'd say if something important and exciting comes up, you can raise your voice to signal it, and you can also use your voice talking quite more quietly at the beginning of the presentation, quite important also.
I want to have success in the future.
Not like that.
in my-
On the calm way.
I hope all hear what I say.
that it will good or bad?
That. I want to have success, and this will be a great performance and all, so you can work very, very convincing with your speech or with your voice. So you can stress the pitch, the tone of your voice could be very, very important and could be for a decision. So, non-verbal communication, don't forget, your voice is an important point. Using your voice, it's called paralinguistics. Paralinguistics. There's another non-verbal style. Another one. Using gesture. Very important. Using your gestures is kinesics. It's called kinesics. Linguistic is the voice. What are the elements of your gestures? How can you play with your gestures? Which tools do you have with your gestures? Please show us what are your tools. Please go on the Enactus Success platform, June 2015, University Mannheim. Tell us something about your plans.
Okay, on one hand, our presentation team is going to talk about the facts of the project and what they achieved right now. On the other hand, they can tell what they're going to do in the future and what their goals are, and well, I hope they will convince the jury.
Good. So, I will tell you something. I was sometime in the UCLA, in the University of California in Los Angeles. And in the educational program, there was one course. It was in the evening. It was the last course that day. It was at 8 o'clock in the evening. And this was one of the best courses I have ever made. It was not an academic course, it was a course about your presentation. There has been a coach from Hollywood, and this lady was 2 hours together with us, the students, and has told us a lot about non-verbal communication and a lot about all the appearance, clothing, and all these presentation tools, tactics, attitudes, skills, which I never forget. So therefore, I can recommend you. Non-verbal communication is key. Having success not only in the performance, also in daily business. But we want to go on. We have speech, voice, we have gestures, we have what else? What else? What else? Yeah. What else?
Body too.
Body, yes. Yeah, what else? For example, from the body.
The hands, the arms.
What else? What else? Hands, arms, very good. What else? Frau Winterbach. What else?
I don't know. Just move around.
Yes, move around. Body, yes. What else? Go on your. Yes, please.
Facial expression.
Fun?
Facial expression.
Facial expression is very good. But what else? Facial, please.
Maybe way you dress.
appearance. But facial, body is very good. But what from the body is so important? What can you do? You can manage your relations, doing all with what?
Stand confident and straight.
Yes, stand confident, straight, low context.
The eyes.
Yes, that's absolutely important. This is the blink of your eyes in the heart of others. You can do with your eyes a lot, and others can see and feel, and you have a strong connection between you and your negotiation partner, the audience. If you are telling something and I wanted to say that it's so it's nothing. It's nothing. It seems that you are not confident, that you are not convinced about your own work, and that you are weak. So, eyes is very important medium or media, and they call it using your eyes, threats, propositions, and silence, and all these situations you can manage with your contact, with your eye contact to your audience. You can play with your audience with your eye contact. And not only one person, or here, or no, right away, broad. Communicate with your audience via managing your eye contact. Managing your eye contact. Play with the team. And so you can play with your audience. The team is on the stage and has a very good eye contact and a secure, a strong contact. That makes a lot. It will also be eventually. Non-verbal communication. Because this is a managing the conviction. You are convinced. Others, your counterpart, negotiation counterpart, feel it. So, eyes. What else is non-verbal communication? Very important. There's another one. Eyes, gesture, appearance, body. What else? That's not enough. Yeah, what else? Come to us. Come to us in the successful Enactus Goethe University Frankfurt leadership platform. So, please tell us something.
Maybe that you need to be self-confident and that you don't need to go like behind, but you have to go to the front and maybe to have eye contact with the people, and that you have to share your self-confidence.
I'm not here.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, other things like you have to smile and you have to be like sympathetic. And,
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, this factor, but it was really good. It was really good because why was it really good? Why was she really good? What is the reason? It was good. What is the reason? What could be the reason why some will be thinking that this was lively? And lively is active. What would be the key?
Also, we use personal pronouns when you say you, and people feel attracted to it because they can connect with you.
Okay.
Or questions.
She had the right distance to the audience, so yes, it should be prosthetic.
Very good. Other idea?
just want to say how you move to the audience.
Yes. And what is it called? Non-verbal communication. This is using your space. Using your space. I go directly to you, or I go directly into the crowd. Using your space, it is a key that they feel you want to manage the situation. And you are cool enough to make the distance smaller. You are coming directer. You are coming more emotional. You are coming more authentic. You are coming true. Not the distance to my, maybe as a teacher from a times, I do only write and I speak here, and this is very, 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 very away, strong, away. No. Interaction. Interactive. And the communication in a non-verbal way with your counterpart, audience. So sometimes you can think in your projects, what could I do with using space? What can we do with using space? Maybe can we integrate using space in our demonstration or in our presentation? You can ask in your program, in your training, in the next days or next weeks, how can I maybe my choreography in a way where I can use in space, or in a way where I can work with non-verbal communication stronger. Of course, you have your content, that's clear. But maybe you can integrate non-verbal communication in your performance on the stage. Is the stage. So, using space. What else is possible in non-verbal communication? We are not at the end. There are a lot of other things. Non-verbal communication. What could be an eye-catcher? What could be never forgettable from the presentation of Goethe-Universität Frankfurt? Think on anything what could be never forgettable for the audience in Mannheim. Your absolutely unique selling point. Anything from non-verbal communication. Not only the content, not only the wonderful idea, the project itself, no, the communication. The communication from your project about non-verbal communication into your counterpart, in the hearts of your counterpart. What is another non-verbal communication tool? What do you think? What do you think? The non-verbal communication tool, another one. It is what? Using the touch. Maybe you can ask yourself, team, discuss it. How can you do a part or something from your presentation using a touch voice? So this is your creativity. Negotiation is innovation. Creativity in the performance. And in the choreography from your performance. Roter Faden, what she said. But you can add other elements to your performance. For example, you can think about it as a team. Non-verbal communication, but there is another one. Another aspect in non-verbal communication. What could this be? Non-verbal communication. very important for you, for your performance, this part of non-verbal communication. This is really very important for you because at the performance, someone will say time out. Time. Time. Because time is a big factor. Managing your time and make the steps in your performance in the time frame. Make it as an adventure. As an adventure. So you can have portions of time in your project performance. And think very exactly which time you will give which step of your performance. For the dialogue between Enactus Goethe University Frankfurt-Team and the audience. Which time frame for the small steps in every project? A little bit more, a little bit less. So think on it. What would be optimal? In your sense, I can take a look on it. We can speak after your presentation training. And then we can debate maybe some non-verbal communication ideas for your presentation. So, I have a lot to say more, but time is friendly. So, questions? Questions? Any questions? Then I say thank you so much. It was really, really challenging and exciting for me to discuss today in the evening some ideas to make it happen in June that we are on the #1 rank with our projects and our great projects and our fantastic team spirit, and I see all on a very, very good way. So, thank you so much, but at the end, I want to have you all here in the Enactus Goethe University Frankfurt-Team success platform for a picture.